Sasha Banks has a lot of legends wanting to face her, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out some comments with Alexa Bliss and discussion that was recently started about Charlotte. Let's start things off with Sasha Banks. Sasha will be fully healed in time for WrestleMania. The only question that we're still asking is, who will that WrestleMania opponent be? Well, there's a lot of WWE legends jumping at the opportunity to work with Sasha Banks. One of those legends being Melina. Melina and Sasha Banks interacted with each other during the Royal Rumble match, but they didn't get much time to do anything together. Sasha eliminated Melina pretty fast, and that was that. But Melina took to Instagram to really dive deep into how much that little moment meant to her, and how she's really dreaming of a full match with Sasha Banks. Melina had this to say on Instagram, quote, "Last year, Impact Wrestling and NWA gave me great matches that I will always cherish. One with Deonna Purrazzo and the other with Camille. But gave me so much joy. It also proved I can get in there with the best. So, that night at the Royal Rumble, I was ready to go. I wish that moment with Sasha was a singles match. To think if we were able to get a reaction like we did that night without wrestling. Can you imagine what we could do if we actually wrestled? I can wish for a match with you with all my heart, and it may never happen. But whether it was 5 seconds, 60 seconds, or 20 minutes in the ring with you, Sasha, I'm grateful for that magic moment at the Rumble, no matter how short. I will forever keep that in my heart." End quote. And when a fan commented on Melina's post saying that they thought Melina would have a bigger part, Melina also responded by saying, "Same here." The last time Melina was on WWE television before the Royal Rumble was for Legends Night on Raw, where she also had an underwhelming part in the show. So fans are still hoping to see Melina brought back to WWE, similar to the role that we see Lita in right now, of just having a legitimate run and playing a meaningful part. And if Melina ever does get that call again from WWE, it looks like we already know who she's going to pitch to wrestle. It's definitely going to be Sasha Banks. Like her message said, she's really hoping for that match to happen one day. So that's one WWE legend that is truly after Sasha Banks. The other possible legend opponent for Sasha is Mickie James. Sasha was actually the one to post a backstage picture with both Melina and Mickie James. A fan quoted that tweet and mentioned how it was a shame that we never saw Sasha versus Mickie one-on-one. Sasha responded by saying that the match with Mickie James will happen. And then of course you have the biggest dream match that Sasha has been talking about for years now, and that's of course Trish Stratus. There's a lot of legends that eagerly want to come back to work with Sasha Banks. So it'll be interesting to see if one or even all three of these matches take place for Sasha Banks over these next few years. Speaking of Mickie James, Mickie was recently asked by Sportskeeda on how she felt about being replaced by Lilly as Alexa Bliss's best friend. The question was of course a reference to Mickie's arc when she returned to WWE in 2016. Mickie James returned as a main right hand to Alexa Bliss, and a lot of people forget about how dominant that duo was. Mickie James and Alexa Bliss were paired up for a long time and got a lot done. So Mickie had this to say about that idea of Lilly replacing her as Alexa's right hand. Quote, "Oh, it's fine to be replaced by a doll. I don't feel like she replaced me. She doesn't kick nearly the amount of behind I kicked. Not even close, but no, it's cool. It's marketable. It's different, you know, especially for females, because I feel like most times, with the exception of like, I guess, back to Scary Sherry, or when there's been other female characters, but most of the women are based off that. They are gorgeous women and their looks are a big deal. Alexa's a beautiful woman. So to then downplay her looks and kind of do more of this darker kind of character is really, really different for someone like her. And I think she's an incredible actress." End quote. So just some great praise there for Alexa Bliss coming from a legend that worked closely with her for so long. Mickie is echoing a lot of things that we've been hearing from other superstars and fans. And that's how Alexa takes anything that's given to her and makes the most out of it with her acting abilities. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that Alexa will be featured in a lot of acting projects once she decides to hang up the boots. The therapy sessions have been a great series for Alexa to continue to build her character depth and showcase all of her abilities. And the best part is that WWE seems to be heavily invested in Alexa Bliss's character. To film 9 weeks worth of character content for therapy sessions and really showcase her character's entire story and transition shows that WWE is serious about building her story. So things are looking great for Alexa Bliss's near future. Alexa has become one of the few WWE superstars with rich story and rich character background. Only thing left to see is now, how will WWE use her and put her into action? Everyone thought Alexa would have a breakout run in 2021 after splitting from Bray Wyatt, but that run was extremely underwhelming. Now, our expectations are back up again, and we're looking at this 2022 return to be Alexa's big breakthrough run and get her back to her first singles title in nearly 4 years. So, we previously talked about how the women's tag team titles and intercontinental title feel non-existent most of the time. Well, another title that was brought into fan discussion was Charlotte Flair and the SmackDown Women's Championship. Before her February defense against Naomi, it had been months since the title had been defended. And you have to go all the way back to October's Crown Jewel event for the last time the SmackDown Women's title was defended on pay-per-view. And that title defense wasn't even by Charlotte. The title was defended by Becky Lynch back then. The theory that was made by the fans was that maybe WWE was counting on Charlotte Flair versus Toni Storm being a long feud, and when Toni quit unexpectedly, WWE had no backup plans or opponents for Charlotte Flair. Charlotte could have defended the title against someone at Royal Rumble, but their best breakup plan was to instead place Charlotte, a champion, into the Rumble match, which still didn't make any sense. Why go through all that brutally long match when you're already a champion? Never made sense for that character to do that. But now, Charlotte is facing Ronda Rousey, so the title finally does have a big feud to go with it. However, if Charlotte doesn't defend the title at any pay-per-views before WrestleMania, that would mean that this title went 6 months without being defended on a pay-per-view event, which really is a mind-blowing stat. There was even a rule that WWE introduced a few years ago that claimed all champions must defend their title every 30 days. Well, yeah, that rule doesn't really exist anymore either. Champions can go months without defending it, and it gets brushed off as no big deal. So, it's weird how that works, but unfortunately that's how things are now. Hopefully all these titles start to get better treatment here in the near future. But what are your thoughts on all of today's stories? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.